Hello, and welcome to Ratatouille Plot Review. I'm Remy,
And I'm Logbog.
and this is the only show where we will be dissecting the plot of Ratatouille line by line. So to start things off, Logbog, it's 2020.
That it is.
BogCon was canceled.
It unfortunately was due to the big bad virus going around and how everyone will definitely get it if they go to
They
BogCon
will
due
definitely
to
get it.
what I have planned.
BogCon is... Everybody got sick at BogCon when there wasn't a pandemic.
Yeah, it's gonna be so everyone just I really in hindsight shouldn't have planned the swap bodily fluids event, but you know what? It happened anyway.
Man, that was going to be our best one. It was going to replace the water tasting.
It was gonna just be called tasting, and you just
Don't finish that idea, Logbog. So, alright, I do like the name just tasting for an event.
Yeah, let's put that down.
Like, it's just, you go in and taste things.
What
And maybe one of the things
Oh.
is the person next to you. So everybody is sat down in a line, okay? And blindfolded.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we spread them out and tell them to be very quiet or something, and then we put them down in a line so they somehow don't know they're next to each other. Then we say, everybody stick out your arm straight up and to the left.
Yeah.
And then we say, okay.
So it like goes right in front of the person. Like, okay, we stagger them, right? Like a staircase.
And so then we're like, okay, now everybody lean forward and take a bite of what we're handing you. They go and bite each other's arms.
That's really good.
That's
That's the best of it. That's better than everything else we had planned last year.
that would live up to the name tasting, I think. It's the main thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we get these names and it's hard to make something good enough to go with them.
Yeah, usually we don't have oh, this is a really good event, but we don't have a name for it. It's usually we have a really good name for an event that has a good vague idea that seems really good just by the name, but then the actual execution, we don't know what it is, and it gets scrapped because we can't think of a better way to execute it.
God.
Like, what's something like that? We had, we had 7 Minutes in Hell.
7 Minutes in
Right?
Hell was just a name we came up with before we made it into any kind of event.
Yeah, Remy pulled me aside while camping and is like, okay, hear me out. 7 Minutes in Hell. And, like, BogCon's, like, a week away. Like, there's no time to add anything.
And yet, we pulled it off.
And then, so originally we sat there and we were thinking, like, what are we gonna do? What is 7 Minutes in Hell gonna be? And the leading idea was, let's get a refrigerator box, or just some really big cardboard box, where one at a time, people would get inside it, and we've, like, decorated the inside, we've, like, painted it and stuff, drawn on it with marker, and cut a bunch of holes in it. But this box is gonna be in a dark room, so you don't see the light coming through the holes. So then we'd talk to you and stick things through the holes.
Like puppets and
like
knives.
There was going to be a whole story. It was going to be like, this puppets will poke you with a stick or something. And that was going to be the experience. But then we got stopped because we couldn't find a box big enough.
There
no
were
one
no
sells
boxes.
big boxes.
It is so hard to find a big box.
Unless you're like, I sell refrigerators and I want to package them, no one will give you a big
refrigerators. Oh, see that we could do a live Vine compilation.
Ooh, and we just get up there and start quoting vines, and it starts off with vines that people know, like that one. We have the hot tub one. We have road work ahead, but then we start just moving into the other ones that are just like called like Vine compilation, like not like funny or anything, just like regular vines. They're just like not interesting.
It's just like videos of a bunch of teenagers like hanging out at the food court.
Yeah, and then one guy says something, but you can't really tell what he says, and you know that's supposed to be the punchline to the joke, but you can't tell what it is, so you listen to it 4 or 5 times, and you still can't tell, so then you look at the comments, and no one knows either, and you just move on.
Or better yet, everybody in the comments does know because they were there.
But they don't say it, they just talk about how funny it was that he said it,
Maybe
and how
that's
it
the true
relates
purpose
to everything
of people
else.
who comment, like the punchline in a video. You know, when they just say in all caps, like, whatever the joke was.
It's because YouTube disabled crowdsourced captions, so therefore everyone just posts the punchline in the comments.
Captions in the comments, boys. CC, closed comments.
YouTube Rewind?
What other good event ideas did we have for BogCon? Like, what are we
Like
gonna
cut
do
ones?
when we're able to open one?
Oh, okay, let me pull up the list on my phone.
All
Hold
right.
on, I've got a whole list.
That's why this episode is called Two Hype Beasts Deliberate Outside a Supreme Store. We're building hype for BogCon 2021.
Okay, let's see. I've got a bunch. Most of this is just links to things that I saw that I thought were funny and we should do.
Like a same
okay.
hype party.
Yeah, the same hype party. Okay. So it's right, the event goes as normally, but we have really stupid emergency drills that go on through the whole thing.
I like that. Like, for like tornado warnings.
Yeah, something that wouldn't, like, tornado warnings, or like the sheep have gotten out, quick catch them, and we put a bunch of cotton balls on the floor.
I thought you were gonna say like we just dress Eve up like a sheep. Have her run. Oh my god.
That's better. You know what? They're both good.
They're both good.
Find the real sheep. We both dress Eve up and throw a bunch of cotton balls on the floor, and they have to figure out which one's Eve.
Oh god. Blindfolded.
That. Okay, so there's another one where we bring out mystery food. Just like sometimes it isn't good on its own. Like there'll just be like a plate of salt, and then once the food's out, you can trade your food to try and get a meal that you want.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So it's just like a bunch of small bits of things, and you can trade. But then once you trade, the trade is final. So like you have to go all in on what your meal is.
Yeah. I just had a stroke of inspiration from that statement, even though I know we've talked about that before. So it's like a cardboard box with like a cutout for your hand. You know, like at aquariums where you can like touch a shark skin.
Yeah.
It's like that, but there's food in the box. And it's always something that has been blended. Right? So we just get like like a bowl of frozen fruit, and we blend it up so it's like a smoothie, and you can like reach in with your fist and grab some, but you don't know what it's gonna be.
And you only get whatever you're willing to grab. And it slowly
hygiene
gets worse.
aside, I think that could be really funny.
No, we make everyone wear like gloves. You put on a glove and get to reach in.
No double dipping. You have to just
No
gamble.
double dipping. Oh, they're okay.
You make them wear really thick gloves, so it's like hard to even tell what it is.
It's just leather work gloves.
Okay, so we have one of the emergencies is a power outage, right?
Okay.
We just turn off the lights. And then we say it's time for the buffet dinner. And people gotta serve themselves food and eat in pitch darkness.
Pitch darkness.
Really, I just think everything is funnier when you can't see.
It is. It's so much funnier, except I think it might scare people.
There is also that.
Like, I would think it would be funny, and I'd do it, but I don't think everyone else would.
There are some glaring flaws with all of these ideas. But that's just the first draft life.
Yeah, this is what we do. This is how Boggon gets planned, is we just sit around and we just throw out ideas that sound either brilliant or completely stupid, and the other person
Bench
either makes
walking.
them sound stupid or makes them sound brilliant. What did you just say?
Bench walking. Three boys.
Bench walking.
Three
okay.
boys tied to a bench. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then they run.
Okay, so how would they be tied to the bench? Are we talking like one person's tied to the underside?
They sit down the bench, and then a rope goes around their legs and the bench, like a safety thing at a roller coaster. And then if any of the boys or the bench touches the floor, they lose, and then they have to race the other teams.
So we got two benches, and then we're tying people at the legs, at the thighs to the bench.
Yeah, around the buns area, so that it like throws off their center of balance, and it's really hard to walk. And then they're all like pulling each other, and it kind of hurts because like the bench is made of wood or something.
Yeah, and like one person's faster, so the person in the back gets whipped behind.
Just painful enough to be hilarious without actually hurting anyone.
Yeah, like the 3 and Up from last year.
Yeah, like the Bog Squad 3 and Up. That was a great sporting event. Hell, this could go in that sporting event.
It's the bench event.
Bench walking.
Oh,
okay, so more 3 and Up events. We make one that's a race, and you have 3 people on the team, but only 2 feet are allowed to be touching the ground. And you have to race the other teams.
How, like, the best way I can see that is it's 2 people hopping on 1 foot carrying the third person.
That does sound like a horrible way of doing it. You could do that. You could have one person on the
shoulder stack.
One person on the shoulder, one person on the back. That would probably be the winning strategy if somebody's strong enough.
Yeah, you just need the one really buff person to be able to hold 2 people.
You could also do person on all 4s, because there's no rule about hands.
Yeah, you could do on all... Okay, it's just 3 people walking on their hands.
I mean...
Or 2 people walking on their hands, 1 person running.
I mean, that... I guess would be legal. If they were all touching.
Do we know anyone that can do that?
I doubt it. We might know a few, but we probably don't know 3 or 6, like however many you would need.
Remy, how fast can you learn?
We're gonna win this thing, but we're the judges, Logbog.
Well, we can't add to the foot count, can we? Okay. So 3 and Up ideas. We have bench racing. We have
two-legged race.
2-legged race. And then we could have like all the events before were just some combination of you can only have a certain number of things touching the ground.
Yeah.
We could
maybe there's just a really simple one where both of your hands have to be touching the ground at all times.
So you just kind of shuffle?
You just kind of like slide. You know?
You do it on carpet so you get mad carpet burn?
No, you don't have to press hard with your hands. And so you could like shuffle on all 4s. You could like stand up and do a lean forward stretch and like shimmy along. Or you could do something else. You could like do the worm.
Okay. Maybe we add because all the other ones has just been get to the other side. But what if it's get to the other side while holding something? Like you have a thing that you have to bring with you. But it's something that's really hard to carry.
Maybe it's 2 exercise balls. 1 wouldn't be a challenge at all, but 2.
Are we talking about the little heavy ones or the big?
The big inflatable yoga balls.
Like a yoga ball. Okay,
like
yeah.
2
what about
yoga
3?
balls? Huh?
What about 3?
I don't know if 3 would be possible.
I think that's the point.
I think with 2, it's almost a risk versus reward of like, how fast can you run before you just fall?
I
3
run
would add a
and fall all the time,
significant
so just to
aspect
add a
of...
ball. I fall regularly when I run, so if I added a ball to that, I wouldn't be in good shape.
3 would make it become mostly a balancing activity. It wouldn't have as much, I think, mad dashes.
Uh-huh.
I think people would go slower.
And also, it would be in favor of the taller people who have longer arms to just be able to hold 2 at the... Basically, my start would be hold the 2 between my arms, and the third one's balanced on top, leaning against my face.
That could work if you could fit your arms around both of them. Depends how big they are. I'm picturing, like, the big boys.
I'm holding my arms out, and I think I could hold 2...
I could maybe hold 2 exercise balls like this. Okay,
you hold each one under your arms, right? Like, under your armpits, and then you put the third one in between your knees, and you hop.
I'd like to see you try. Okay, no.
Bring me 2 yoga balls, and I will.
2 yoga balls and 1 of those, like, 10-pound exercise balls.
That's how you do it. Because at that point, you can't just balance the 10-pounder, and the 2 large ones kind of need to be held because they're big and windy.
Oh my god. That's good. I like that.
I like that.
Mm.
It looks like we're coming up on our time here.
Already?
I know.
Goodness, we are. So let's see. What have we reviewed today?
Today, we started off with people being stuck in a fridge box with puppets and knives, and we ended with trying to carry a 10-pound ball and 2 yoga balls across a field.
That's really good. I like it. Logbog, I think we've got ourselves a winning formula for a show here.
Well, I agree. I like it, but I think we'll actually have to let the people decide on if this is what they want. If they say yes, we'll produce more content, and I'd assume it'll get better.
You hear that, guys? It's up to you to save our show. You can donate at pbs.org.
Just redirect donations to other organizations we like every time at the end.
This broadcast was brought to you by the No Child Left Behind grant in the U.S. Department of Education. We're the children getting left behind.
A corny dad joke is just one of the simplest ways to share a moment.
So take a moment to make a moment
and make your kid laugh today.
Because dad jokes rule. Visit fatherhood.gov. This has been
Ratatouille
Plot Review with Remy
and Logbog.
We'll catch you next time. Get it? Like...
What?